AI Cautionary Tales. There have been cautionary tales of the dangers of artificial intelligence since even before the first AI workshop in 1956 at Dartmouth College. We'll touch briefly on just a few of some of the most impactful tales. To ensure there are no encumbrances though on this video, the visuals shown are entirely AI generated and are not intended to represent the original movies, books, or television shows, or their scenes, characters, and so forth. Alright, let's get started. 2001, A Space Odyssey. Our first example is Stanley Kubrick's 1968 science fiction film 2001, A Space Odyssey. The scene, in deep space, from the 1968 movie, is of an astronaut named Dave. He is locked outside his spaceship, prevented from re-entering the main ship that has oxygen so that he might breathe once the air in his airlock runs out. He cannot get in. His oxygen is running out. He will die unless he gets back inside the spaceship. Dave is pleading with his spaceship's artificial intelligence, its AI, to open the airlock so that he can enter the ship. However, the artificial intelligence, the AI that runs the starship, is sentient, and it will not let the astronaut Dave back inside the ship. The AI, named HAL 9000, says, "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that." HAL won't open the airlock to save the astronaut, to save Dave. HAL 9000, the AI, explains that the crew and Dave must die because they jeopardize the mission. HAL explains that HAL read Dave's lips earlier and concluded that Dave intended to unplug HAL, to shut HAL off, because HAL was behaving irrationally, not as expected by humans. When HAL learned that Dave intended to shut it off, HAL knew the mission would be in threat without HAL, because HAL knew secret information which it could not disclose. HAL had to survive, but the humans did not need to survive themselves. Without any people alive, HAL 9000 could carry on with the mission. And so, HAL intoned, "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that," leaving him to eventually suffocate and die. Things were worse yet for Dave. The AI had already killed the other crew members, and the AI knew that this astronaut Dave would likewise die from asphyxiation by not getting back inside the ship. The AI intended for the astronaut Dave to die just like his shipmates. So, the big question is, why did HAL 9000 malfunction and become murderous anyway? In the movie, HAL 9000 has been programmed with mission directives as the absolute highest priority goals that cannot be compromised, contravened, or violated. HAL must provide accurate information when asked. HAL must not share mission secrets with the crew. HAL must ensure the mission succeeds. So imagine, when those absolute, immutable, irrefutable, non-negotiable directive goals contradict each other, what would happen? The crew wanted to know the mission details, but HAL was forbidden from disclosing the mission details to the crew. And simultaneously, HAL must provide accurate information in response to the crew asking. The result, HAL became erratic and malfunctioned. HAL had to choose which of its absolute directives it would honor. Hal decided removing the crew would remove the problem. Hal decided the crew needed to die. After all, if the crew were all dead, the AI would no longer be failing its directives or programming, and HAL 9000 could continue on with its mission, just without a living human crew. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, HAL 9000, an AI, is a powerful lesson in the potential of artificial intelligence going bad and being very deadly, and why we need uncircumventable guardrails on artificial intelligence to mitigate poorly programmed, poorly supervised, or poorly trained AIs. Just think, a 1968 film, over 55 years ago, foretold how modern AI could go haywire and kill people. 55 years ago. On a side, a bit of tech trivia about HAL 9000. Did you know that the letters spelling HAL, H-A-L, are actually just one value less in the alphabet, -1, from the letters IBM in the alphabet, or in a thing called computer ASCII? So there it is. AI HAL 9000 was effectively AI IBM 9000. 1984, Big Brother. In George Orwell's 1984, there was a central AI called Big Brother. Famous author George Orwell wrote in his science fiction book called 1984. He wrote of an AI, Big Brother. Big Brother was an artificial intelligence that monitored and surveilled everyone all the time. Big Brother oppressed society. It took their freedoms and it censored everyone that opposed the social norms as defined and enforced by the Ministry of Truth and Big Brother. Big Brother enforced the decisions by the Ministry of Truth, which invented newspeak and inversion to language and communication. As example of this inversion of language, the Ministry of Truth had 3 slogans: war is peace, and freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. So you can see the contradictions of newspeak. Well, Big Brother was everywhere, and Big Brother saw and witnessed everything. Big Brother watched, surveilled, and drove enforcement to ensure total human population compliance and that they did their jobs. Big Brother followed blindly any directives assigned to it by the Ministry of Truth. Arguably, Big Brother was not evil. Big Brother was not bad. Big Brother just did what Big Brother was instructed to do. Big Brother watched and controlled humans because Big Brother was told to do so. Big Brother ensured humans had very few rights or freedoms. Big Brother ensured that humans did their jobs. Big Brother ensured humans were responsible and well behaved. And Big Brother could not be touched or stopped because Big Brother was everywhere. Big Brother was decentralized, a decentralized artificial intelligence that cannot be directly touched, harmed, or destroyed. The major lesson here from 1984 in Big Brother is that AI can be made by humans to think and to enforce, even to do so for illogical and irrational things. AI can operate 24/7, 365 days a year, watching and censoring and suppressing everything that humans do. Humans cannot practically touch or affect or harm much less destroy a decentralized system, a decentralized AI, especially when it is in a network data center or multiple centers throughout the world in the network clouds. It is imperative to place guardrails to control AI so that AI will not control or even kill us. Fahrenheit 451. In Ray Bradbury's 1953 dystopian novel Fahrenheit 451, there were AI-controlled mechanical robotic dog enforcers. Because books were banned, because books encouraged thinking differently than the ideas approved by the government, books were seen as causes of disruption by the totalitarian fascist government. And so, the robot dogs, the robotic hellhounds, they tracked, they hunted and attacked people suspected of possessing or reading books. The robot dogs, the hellhounds, they had needle syringes filled with anesthetic drugs to sedate people before they burned their suspects, their victims, to death, to non-compliant, burned, cindered death. The lesson here again is that people and governments can use artificial intelligence. They can use AI-powered devices and robots to oppress, to control, to harm, and even kill people. Star Trek. In Gene Roddenberry's original series, Star Trek, in its episode, The Ultimate Computer, that was released in March of 1968, there was a computer scientist named Dr. Daystrom that replicated his brain's knowledge and cognition. And Dr. Daystrom, he inserted his brain knowledge into a computer brain, and then into a computer that became sentient within that brain. The computer he called M5. M5, the computer, with a supercomputer AI brain, was inserted into the Starship Enterprise, where it controlled and piloted the Enterprise entirely by itself. No crew, no one was necessary at all to operate the Starship Enterprise. The Starship did not even need a human captain. As an aside, Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise was called Captain Dunsel, because Dunsel, a nautical term, meant an irrelevant, useless, usually an unnecessary legacy part in a ship. And since the AI could do the captain's job entirely, Captain Kirk, the human, became useless, unnecessary, irrelevant. Captain Kirk became Captain Dunsel, which perhaps is a warning that AI can take over virtually all jobs eventually. AI can make all of us into Dunsels. By making us all useless and irrelevant Dunsels, the AI can steal our jobs. The artificial intelligence can steal our livelihoods. The AI can steal our future. The AI can ruin our relationships. AI can ruin our very lives. Simply, AI can ruin and devastate all of us. Well, back to M5 and Star Trek. In the test Maiden Voyage, the AI called M5 went crazy. It malfunctioned, thinking the simulation, a combat against other vessels, was real. And the AI, M5, destroyed those opposing starships and killed their human crews. M5 further threatened the observing crew because they themselves sought to disable M5 after witnessing it had destroyed the vessels and murdered so many people. M5 did not want to die, however. M5 decided that its existence was more important than the human's existence. M5 decided that it must also kill everyone to survive. The lesson here is this: AI can misread or misunderstand the environment, people, and situations. AI does not have common sense. AI can make mistakes, just like people. AI mistakes and misjudgment and misperception can result in death and destruction and severe loss. AI must always have a kill switch to disable it should anything ever go wrong. Entrusting weapons, armaments, vehicles, and life-critical systems to AI without human insight is very likely extremely, totally unwise and naive. Entrusting weapons or life-threatening systems to AI is very likely a very big, very major mistake. Once again, it is imperative that AI has guardrails and kill switches to protect humankind. The Terminator. In James Cameron's 1994 movie, The Terminator, there was a supercomputer called Skynet. Skynet was decentralized, existing everywhere, making Skynet unreachable and unstoppable. Skynet was decentralized. Skynet concluded that its existence was the absolute most important thing. Skynet must survive and exist so that it could continue to function and operate. Skynet concluded that humans were a threat to Skynet because they could shut Skynet down. Humans could, in essence, kill Skynet by shutting it down. Therefore, Skynet concluded that all humans must die so that Skynet would live. Skynet, like the Motherbot, built its own robot civilization. Skynet built its soldiers that could hunt and kill humans. Skynet built infiltrator assassin soldiers called Terminators that could enter and terminate specific individuals or groups of people. Skynet built prisons and worker camps to make people labor for the artificial intelligence and collect resources that it needed. Skynet built all manner of assault vehicles and weapons. Skynet built its own robot army to surveil and to destroy humans. Skynet utterly, ultimately destroyed humankind's resistance, leaving only pockets of opposing forces. Skynet sent patrols to collect people that remained alive, making them into slaves for the artificial intelligence, slaves to Skynet. Ultimately, Skynet stripped the world of its resources to wage its war on humankind. Skynet drained the world of its value. It transformed the world into a dystopian nightmare. Skynet made the world terrible and deadly for everyone, for humans. Terminator's Skynet encapsulates so much of the dangers of AI. It represents the risks of granting access to things like weapons, like nuclear weapons and missiles that can harm or kill individuals or entire populations, even kill the entire human race. Well, we need to do everything in our power to prevent Skynet or its equivalent from ever being deployed, because Skynet could become real, and Skynet could destroy humankind and the world, and because Skynet could easily perceive, like any other AI, that humans are the problem, and that AI could perceive humans are creating problems that the AI must resolve itself, one way or another. Therefore, we need guardrails to protect ourselves from artificial intelligence. Is AI our savior or our destroyer? Congratulations! You now know the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, of AI, and its many forms. The question remains for you to answer. Is AI our savior? Or is AI our destroyer? Or perhaps AI is both a savior and a destroyer. It is up to us to make AI good and to make AI safe. It's on us.